What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is going to be part 2 of the first cutting board I do on this channel. So what our next steps are going to be: first we're gonna router out the hand holes on each side. I'm going to do all 4 sides because of the size of it. I'm just going to use this little router here. It's Avid Power. Got it right off of Amazon. It was really cheap and it works perfect for what I need. Obviously I would like a plunger one. That does help with juice screws and stuff like that, but for now that takes care of everything I need. Got the measurements here. We were about almost 23 inches, so we got to center, and then we're doing about a 3-inch width of the handle. It fits just about 4 fingers in it, so just big enough for someone's hand. We're using the biggest straight bit that I have, if you can see it there. It's a little beat up, it's definitely got some use out of it, so I'm gonna have to replace them soon, or at least clean it up. But we're gonna do 3-inch handles all around the sides. Once that's done, then we're gonna start the full sanding process to get this down to about 220 grit, and then we're gonna use the process, as I said on the first video, of watering it down, heating it up, getting those wooden fibers up so that we can sand it down smooth, so that once it's actually in use and used repeatedly, we don't have those fibers coming up and getting into your food and stuff like that. But so that's the next step. So I'm going to get started here in a minute, get all these handled, glued out. I think with the handles, we're going to go 3 inches, but we're just going to go a little bit bigger than what the width of that bit is. So we may do like twice the thickness of that bit. We just want to get be able to get fingers in there. I don't want to just do my fingers. Obviously I want to go a little bit bigger. So there's some room in there, but not too big. In depth, we're probably going to go about 1.5 inches inwards. Again, just to get fingertips in there. You're not looking to get your full hand in there, but yeah, we'll see how it comes out, and I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Hey guys, before I finish these handles, I just wanted to show you kind of my process that I follow while making them, just so if you do it by hand without a glide, without stopping points, it's possible. But I've noticed, there's much more room for error there. So whenever there's a kickback or something along those lines, or you start rushing it a little bit, you end up getting, a little bit farther than you want to be. So it's always best to try to set up as much as you can to limit the mistakes that can be made, or going too far or doing too much. So as you can see over here, I already did the first handle. It's come out pretty good. I usually go as small as I can, that I feel everybody's hand could fit into. A little bit thicker, so that if someone has bigger fingers, they can fit in there, but not super deep. It's only fingertips basically. That way you can always go more if you need to, if someone makes a special request. But if you do the bare minimum, there's always room for improvement. But if you go too far, then you can't fix that, or refill in the hole and make it as nice as it should be. So my process here is, first step is I'm picking my depth. So my depth is set up so that once the router base hits the wood, that's as deep as it can go, you see. So that's as deep as we're going, is against the base there. Next was the glide. So the glide is set up so that I can just go left and right. I don't have to worry about it going up and down on me. Now, if I wanted to go a little bit up and down, I could just adjust afterwards. I'll start super low, go back and forth, and then adjust it upwards to make it a little bit bigger. It's not necessary because this bit is big enough for most fingers, I believe. Obviously, it's not going to be for everybody, but it does work out to where it fits most. I'll show you how my hand fits in this one over here. So if I grab the tip, that's as much as it goes. So I can go down to where I still got room for my fingers. It's just fingertip though. I might go a little bit deeper, but if you practice grabbing it, you can pretty much carry it very easily with the handles, and I'll show you that later once they're all done. But that the bit is thick enough for what I like it to be. And then the last step obviously is the left and right. So I just use clamps there. So all I do is I start the router. I got it on speed 3 or 4, and I'll just go inwards and then just go left and right slowly going farther inwards and inwards and inwards. I don't push it all in real hard because it's gonna burn the wood, and then also you risk a kickback much more frequently with that. So that's how I do it, with the stuff and tools that I have. It seems to work pretty well. In the beginning, when I first started making these cutting boards, I would just do it by hand, and it would work out okay, but then you would notice inside the hole, it wouldn't be completely cleaned out and perfect. Much more burn marks, and then on a few occasions, I've ruined the board because I had a kick or something like that. So just an FYI of how I do it. I know everyone does it differently, or could do it differently. And obviously there's people out there that have, the best tools in the world, so it becomes a lot easier. But for me, just using this cheap router, some clamps, my little glide, which I did glue a piece of wood on. So when I do the groove, the juice groove, I can get around the corner a little bit and it doesn't like move at all. Which if I do a juice groove, I'll show you how that works. But for now, that's what we're working on, and I will get the other 3 holes done before I bring you guys back. Hey, what's up guys? I just wanted to bring you back for this next part. So I fully finished sanding everything with the 60 grit, get all the grooves out, all the lines out, so it's completely smooth, although you'll see that it, you know, it doesn't look great right now. Like the grain is a bit chippy and you know, there's swirls in there from the palm sander. But that's okay for a 60 grit. That's what usually happens. It doesn't look great just yet. Once we get higher grit, to especially to the 220, you'll see all those lines gone and be much more smoothed out. We got all the hand holes sanded down, get most of the burn marks out. Let's see. You know, they look pretty good. Again, they're pretty small. You know, we could widen them if we needed to, but we're not gonna. We're gonna leave them like that for now because that's just how I like them. The next step that we're working on. So we got a water bottle here. We got my ancient heat gun, just to kind of speed the process along a bit so I can continue to work on it. We're going to spray it down with water, completely soak it. That's going to rise those fibers up, make them stick up a bit. We're going to heat gun it to get it to dry it out, and then we're going to go back to the palm center. I got 150 grit on there now. We'll do that once on either side, and then on the sides of each one we'll do it as well. And then we'll do it again. We'll spray it again, heat gun it. Then we'll use the 220 grit to really get it smoothed out. After that, we're going to get the router back out and we're going to do these edges here. We're going to round over each of these edges. I may do the corners as well down here, but I'm definitely going to do these edges on both sides. And then I think I am going to add a juice groove to one side, because this is, you can use both sides of this. So we can have a juice groove on one side, no juice groove on the other side. So it's, you know, versatile. You could use it either way. If you're cutting steak, you could do it on top so the juice goes in there. And then if you're cutting, you know, greens or tomatoes or any kind of fruit or vegetables, you could do it on the other side. So I just wanted to bring you guys in so you guys get, this is the best part of being midway through. So once you spray the water, it's going to look a lot like it will look when you put the oil on it. So let's see what this looks like. Spray it pretty generously. You don't need it running off the sides, but you want to make sure you cover the whole thing. Look at that, nice and shiny. It pops so well now. I love that look. That's exactly how it'll look once we get the oil on top of it. Obviously the oil dries out after a certain period of time, that does soak into it, so you'll still keep a bit of that darkness to it. But alright, so I'm going to move on to heat gutting this, dry it out, and then I'll start the sanding of the 150 grit. last step to the ends of these boards to round over the edge. I just wanted to show you how an easy way to get these burn marks out of here. You see it's pretty light on this side. This is the last side I have to do. All the rest are already done. There's a couple dark spots elsewhere. It took me a little bit more time. This shouldn't take too much, but you could do this. You could do it by hand, obviously, which I've done before, and that's fine. It just takes more time. You can use a palm sander. It's actually very easy and very effective, and keeping the rounded edge and even across is actually fairly easy with a palm sander if you do it correctly. You're not putting side to side pressure or anything like that. You're gonna put it all across the edge, and you're gonna go around the round over. You're not gonna put a ton of pressure down. You're just gonna move back and forth, making sure you fully rotate all the way to one side, all the way to the top, and just keeping even pressure. It doesn't have to be super heavy, just even pressure, so you're not going one way or another as you're going across. And I'll see these little darker red marks here, you'll see disappear pretty easily. You have to sand the edges anyway because it's a little rough from the router. Starting with 120, I'm going to go back over everything with 220 so it's equal to the rest of the board. But I'm just going to start with the 120 to get it evened out and then smoothed out as well. Now, if I was trying to curate that round over with this, or if I was trying to dig in more and take off more material, I would go long ways, as you've seen me do before, back and forth like this. Make sure you're going all the way across and evenly. But since I'm just trying to clean it up and get rid of the burn marks, that's why I just went straight over, because that's the easiest way to keep it rounded and not, it's not super smoothly rounded, perfectly round if you're going the long way. It's more of a dig-in method. To take away material. This is just rounding it over, smoothing it out, and cleaning up those burn marks. Alright, I'm going to go over all the sides again, check everything, make sure it's good. Then I'm going to do it again with 220 grit, and then I'll bring you guys back for the juice group. What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is took a couple days off because of work and rain. Weather has not been great this weekend. Today wasn't too bad. It was a little sunny out, but it's only in the 60s and it's Memorial Day weekend, so yeah, I haven't been out here. It's a little dry now, so we were able to finish up the board. Let me take you a little closer. So I could spend a little more time truing it up just right, but I kind of like how it turned out. The rounded edges look pretty good. I got the juice groove cut out of it, just a slight one. I got handles on each side, all four sides I should say. Not too bad. There's a little bit more I could do sand wise, a couple of burn marks that are still on there, but I'm gonna leave them for now. I'm not gonna, it's really just a good project to get a new board on my page, because I haven't had one like this in a while. So we have made it to the final step, which is the oil phase. So the oil that I use is 13 Chef food grade mineral oil, which is pretty good. guys. Sorry on the last part of this video, it kind of cut out. My fiance showed up or came out as I was videoing, and you know, if I had like a really good YouTube channel, I wouldn't be shy about it, but because it's brand new and there's no followers, I'm a little shy to record in front of people. So I figured I'd show you guys the final product. Looks a lot better with the oil on there. As I said, I used 13 Chef cutting board oil, and I don't know, came out pretty well. Took me a couple days to make. Well, it took over a week because of the rain, but you know, this is the finished product, and I think it's came out pretty darn well. I'll lift it up, show the bottom of it. Nice and clean. The oil really brings out the color. But yeah, so please, if you guys get a chance, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Should I do more like this? Should I start trying to do the specialty ones where they have like diamond shapes or it looks like a 3D pattern? They're a little bit more difficult. I don't have a table saw or a planer to do those quickly and nicely, but you know, I'm willing to do it by hand to try it out if you guys think it'd be a good thing to try. But yeah, this is the end of the second video for this cutting board, and we'll move on to the next item. Thank you guys so much. I'll have a great day.